Good morning, everyone. Today we are going to talk about TimeShift. TimeShift is basically a program that is used in Linux to back up and restore your systems. Mainly, what this program does is, as you call it, take a snapshot. So it is designed to, um, that by default, to back up the system files. It doesn't necessarily back up the user files, and that's designed so that way they are not overwritten in case you have to restore the system. There's ways of setting that up, but I'm only discussing how to do, as you will call it, the system state. The root folder where you have all of the Linux related files. Okay, so what we're going to discuss installing TimeShift from the graphical user interface, and also installing TimeShift from the command line. After that, I will show you guys how to create a backup, and then also how to restore from a backup. So here we go. It's a pretty much straightforward process. I'm over here on the LXLE desktop, and it's also running on a virtual machine. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to open up a command line, a terminal box, and I'm going to type these commands. You can follow these commands line by line. It should work for you as well. Okay, so we're going to go here. I will create my password to run my commands as sudo, and it should actually go to this. It should actually go and read this repository from TG 2008. It will not take that long. It should be a pretty much straightforward process. And then the next one that we have to do will be apt-get, and then update it, and it will go that route. It will continue to update repositories, look at different files, etc, etc, etc. That completes pretty fast, and then we'll issue the following command. And at this point, it will install TimeShift. Should be pretty much a straightforward process. Again, you see it's completed. That was pretty fast. Now what's going to happen, I install on the command line, so I'm going to show you how to actually launch it from the command line, and it's also going to show you the arguments that you will use if you want to create backups and restore, etc. So here it is, and as you can see, I'm going to maximize this window. It shows you all of the commands, all of the arguments. Okay, see TimeShift options, check, create, restore, etc. At this point, you will also be able to indicate to TimeShift where you want the snapshot to be stored at. It could be locally, or it could also be in an offsite location, or it could also be like on external drive, USB drive, etc. Alright, I will see you guys next with the instructions in how to install TimeShift from the graphical user interface. Okay, so we are back again. This time what we're going to do, we're going to install TimeShift using the Synaptic package manager. I already have a shortcut for that on my desktop. Again, we on the LXLE desktop, in case you have other Linux distributions and you want to get information on how to use it in those Linux distributions. There's also information out there in how to install it, depending on the distribution that you're currently using. Okay, so I'm just going to double click over here in Synaptic Package Management, and I'm going to give it my password, and I'm going to maximize this window for you guys to see this process. Again, this is LXLE, so that way, in case you're using LXLE, these graphical softwares that I'm using, they should be available to you as well. Okay, so I'm just going to come over here and do a search, and I'm going to search for TimeShift. It's going to read the repositories, and here it comes. So all you will do here, you will basically click over here, and then you will just mark it for installation. You will click on the apply button. It's going to show you some details as to what is to be installed, and here is TimeShift. Okay, and it's going to tell you one new package will be installed. I don't do download package files only. I'll just let it be downloaded with all of the dependencies that it comes with. Okay, so I'm just going to click on apply, and here it is downloading the package, and it's now installing the software. Okay, that doesn't take long, and I will show you here in a second how to open it. So it's already, if you click on it, the only thing that allows you to do is mark it for reinstallation, or mark it for removal, or mark it for complete removal. And again, this is within Synaptic Package Manager on the LXLE desktop. Okay, so I'm going to close this over here, and then I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to show you where TimeShift gets installed. So if you go to the main button out here, the menu button, and then you go to control menu, and then you go to utilities, you will see TimeShift down here. Usually what I do, I right click on it, and then I add it to the desktop, so that way I don't have to be searching for it anymore. Then you double click on that icon, it'll give you your password, and then it's going to ask you which type of snapshots do you want, and that really is going to be depending on which type of partition do you have. So I'm just going to choose rsync, and I'm going to click on finish, and here it will bring you to the graphical user interface where you will actually configure TimeShift and indicate to TimeShift which type of backups you want to create. Okay, so I'm going to start right here, and then I'm going to come back one more time and show you guys how to configure, how I configure my TimeShift application. Okay, how you doing everyone again? Okay, so we're back over here, and we're going to actually talk about how to configure TimeShift to store the snapshot on a external USB drive. Okay, so I'm just going to come over here to settings, and then I'm going to go to location, and my system already has my virtual machine with the LXLE desktop on it already has a USB drive attached to it. I don't know if this is, well, maybe it's information that's relevant, but I'm using the extension pack on VirtualBox, and it's using the USB 3.0 drivers, which are the best ones in there. So I'm going to choose this USB drive, which is right here, and that's going to be where I'm storing the snapshot. Then I'm going to come over here, I'm going to go to type, and I'm going to say rsync, and then I'm going to basically close this out, and then I'm going to choose create. But before I do that, there is also some other backups that I created before on the USB drive, and it shows you right here. Okay, this is the year, the date, the times. Okay, so I'm just going to click on create, and at this point it has already been configured. I already told it, I already configured which type of backup and the location to where the backup is going to be stored. So at this point, this is going to be process is gonna go. This is probably gonna take you anywhere between 10 to 15 minutes, maybe even half hour, depending on what kind of systems configurations you have. Now remember, I'm also using LXLE 32-bit, but I do have an SSD drive and also 8 gigs of RAM on the host machine. So the processes here are usually pretty fast, but still anywhere between 15 to 30 minutes seems like a usual time that we will take. And actually, I'm going to come back here in a minute and I'm going to show you at the very end what happens once that backup is finished. It's going to give you some information, etc, etc, etc. Okay, upon completion of the backup, you're going to pretty much receive this message up in the you see on the upper right, telling you that the snapshot has been completed successfully. And here I'm showing you other snapshots that I've taken before. One thing is that these systems can be restored using any snapshot, so you could pretty much pick any place in time where you think that you want to use a snapshot that will be good for your system. Also, if the system is not bootable, you could always boot to Ubuntu Live CD, install TimeShift, and recover the system with any snapshot that you have in any of the devices, whether it will be like a USB drive or an external drive, or even in the same drive in another partition that you have allocated for snapshots. And ultimately here, what's going to happen is that thank you for watching. Give it a like and subscribe, and stay tuned for more information coming. I have other ideas as to what to do with Linux systems. So and if you have any comments, any ideas that you want me to add, make sure to put it on the comment section. Thank you.